Good morning, folks. It's Bob Branch bringing you another Daily Devo. And I'm excited to talk to you this morning about another theme that we talked briefly about last Sunday. And that is, Paul talked about this incredible soaring spiritual experience he had being caught up into the third heaven, to paradise. And we talked about that. Paul's using that and basically saying, hey, look, I can compete toe to toe with these super apostles, but I want you to, because I want you to know that I've actually had these same kind of experiences, but these aren't what validate my Christian life. These aren't what validate my leadership influence or my authority to speak into your lives. Those are simply experiences, and I can't even make complete sense of these things. So he doesn't write a book about it, My Journey to Heaven and Back. He doesn't blab it everywhere that he goes. He does blab his own experience with God on the Damascus Road, because that's when he came to Christ. So he actually talks about that constantly. But the reality is that Paul has to put these experiences in context. Now, I think one of the things I wasn't able to say last week, just on the basis of time, was that I think spiritual experiences are amazing. Now, I've had some amazing spiritual experiences. I've never been to the third heaven. I've never been to paradise before, but I've had times when God visited me where I knew I had been visited by the very presence of God. Times when I think, was that actually the audible voice of God, or was it not? And some of the times were just absolutely soaring and beautiful and filled me up. Other times absolutely terrified me. And all of those things, I've had these marvelous spiritual experiences, mountaintops and valleys and all these different things. And I have to say that, and now that 62 years old and having walked with God for almost all of my adult life, and since I was 16, and I have found that my experiences are not the things that make up my character. My experiences are not the thing that give me substance. My experiences are not the thing that actually causes me to persevere in tough times. In fact, the experiences haven't particularly helped in those things. And so I want to encourage you that don't become a chaser of experiences. Don't become a person who goes after that experience of God's love. Go after that person that goes after God, and you will experience that love. But if you chase after the experience, it's always going to leave you wanting. It's always going to leave you in the place of I almost feel full, but I don't exactly feel full, because fullness comes with a regularized walk with God on a daily basis. It's not this passion station all the time. I think I run into this with married couples frequently, where married couples will come and just say, well, gosh, we were so steamy and so fiery and so pumped up about everything, with our dating relationship. And now it just isn't like that. It's just kind of normal. It's like, well, that's kind of the way that love is. If you were that passionate, you were just that, all over each other all the time, you would burn up. That's just the reality of it. I think that we have this sort of stylized view of this from the movies, that our marriages have got to be just sort of heart pumping, passionate all the time. But that's just actually not real life. And the more that we come to grips with that, the better we can settle into this very good marital love that is stable and has its times of passion, but also has its times of tears and of pain and just normalcy and those things. And in a marriage, that's the way that it works. And in your walk with God is the way that it works as well. That you're not walking from one mountaintop to the other, just trying to jump past the valley into the next one, onto the next mountaintop, onto the next mountaintop. But I've found that quite frequently Christians want to overinflate the importance of experiences because we love the way that it feels. Now, I admit it. I love the way that I felt on those mountaintop experiences with God. I love it. It feels great. And we want more of that. But the reality is, you don't need more of that. You just need more of the substance of the Lord himself. You need more abiding in his love. You need to have more time where you're marinating in the love of God and that is tenderizing you. More time where perhaps you sit in silence before God, him settling your spirit, him moving you and moving in you. But it's much more subtle It's not dynamic. It sometimes is powerful, but most of the time not. It's normal. And it's the normal love of God. Now, one of my favorite pop artists at this point in time is a guy named Ben Rector. And he writes all of these songs about the really good things of ordinary life rather than the spectacular, that everything has to be spectacular. It's like, well, it's really good and normal. Instead of really good and spectacular, it's really good, it's crazy, normal. And that's kind of your walk with God. It's crazy normal. It's not crazy, soaring in the atmosphere. It's crazy normal. And then from time to time, the Lord will visit you and me with these experiences that either just melt us with this love or just kind of vault us into the heavenlies in some way where we feel like, I don't know if I can take any more than this. It's God. It's the God who loves you. And he's the one that's inviting you and I into this kind of relationship where we have a normal love with him. His love for us is great. Our love for him is great, but it is not a mountaintop love. It is a normal, crazy love. And that's what God is inviting you and I into. So I would encourage you to ask the Lord to help you to experience and to know his love and to marinate in his love, and that be your normal experience. And then you'll be able to put your mountaintop experiences in proper perspective like the Apostle Paul did. That's our word for today. Thanks so much for joining me. I love you. I am with you in this. Thanks so much for just walking with me and letting me walk with you. I love you. God bless you.